Hello there, my name is Oliveira. I am a Brazilian attorney, also licensed in California and Texas. And today I'm going to be answering this question: what types of taxes and fees am I going to be subjected when receiving inheritance in Brazil, and how do they compare to what I would experience in the United States? So in Brazil, when you participate in a probate, and that's going to apply even if you are a foreign citizen living in the United States, if the probate is in Brazil, the tax that you're going to pay is going to be the inheritance tax, which in Brazil is charged at the state level. Even though states have some degree of liberty, even though states have some degree of freedom to decide the tax rate that they are going to apply, they must range from 2% to no more than 8% in accordance to the federal government laws. Interesting to note that in Brazil, after the inheritance tax is paid at the probate level, you're not going to need to pay any additional income tax because you're going to be receiving the assets free of income tax. The United States, on the other hand, is not going to charge you federal taxes for inheritance coming from abroad. So the assets that you're going to be receiving from Brazil, either cash, possession, or ownership of real estate, this is not going to be taxed by the United States at the federal level. Of course, you're going to need to inform the tax authority, but it's more like an information-only obligation instead of actually paying taxes on the assets received through inheritance. Nonetheless, there are states in the US who may want to tax your inheritance from abroad. And then in this case, of course, you're going to need to consult with an attorney from the state in which you reside. Important to note, there are other costs that are not necessarily taxes. So whenever you have a probate, naturally, you're going to need to have a legal procedure most of the time, and you're going to need to pay an attorney or a law firm. You're going to need to pay for filings. There are many documents that you're going to need to legalize abroad, so they may be accepted in Brazil. There is the so-called a sworn translation that you're going to need to pay in Brazil, and those costs, they usually add up, and over the life cycle of a probate, they may be substantial. Also, if you sell your assets, your inheritance in Brazil, and you're going to send this money to the United States, there will be a financial tax over the transfer of money from Brazil to the United States, which at the time of this recording is 1.1%, the so-called IOF. In addition to this tax, there is also the so-called spread, which is going to be charged no matter which bank you use. Just as everywhere else, whenever you send the money cross-border, the bank that's going to be handling the currency exchange, they will never pay you the full exchange rate. They will always pay you a little bit less than what you see as the reference rate for the market. Finally, if you're selling assets in Brazil, there is also the cost of maintaining those properties until you are ready to sell. And once you're selling, if you're selling, for instance, real estate, you're going to pay in Brazil the customary 6% or 5% for realtors to advertise and help you get a buyer. So all of those costs, they should also be factored into your planning. I hope you liked this video. Feel free to schedule a consultation to discuss your probate in details. And don't forget to download the ebook, The 7 Mistakes That People with Inheritance in Brazil Make. Follow us for more tips and see you in our next video.